Of all the superstitions that surround theatre, there aren't many which persist with such determination and foreboding as the infamous curse of Macbeth, one of Shakespeare's most iconic tragedies. Known to this very day simply as the Scottish play, to those who are too afraid to utter its name within a theatre, this has instilled fear into the hearts of actors and directors alike. Instead, they refer to it with such euphemisms as the Scottish play to avoid the wrath of the curse. But where did this originate from, and how does it continue to resonate all these years later? The story of Macbeth's curse is a fascinating, horrible tale of accidents, fatalities, and strange coincidences, all with one play in common: the origins of the curse, a hazardous script. The thought of there being a kind of Macbeth's curse, in fact, seems to have its roots in the play's supposed invocation of real witches and dark magic. The central theme of prophecy and witchcraft in this play is something hugely provocative in the early 17th century, at a time when belief in witchcraft was at its prime and people were afraid of the supernatural in every aspect of their lives. The portrayal given by Shakespeare of the three witches, complete with the incantation that sends chills down the spine, double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, was perceived to actually be a reproduction of spells and incantations by many. According to one of the most popular theories, real witches were offended when they saw Shakespeare featuring their rituals and spells in the play. Thus, they put a hex on it. For this reason, it was thought that any production of Macbeth would invoke the anger of those witches, creating all kinds of mishaps and bad luck for anyone associated with the performance. It was somewhat cemented when stories abounded about how, during several of the early performances, accidents and mishaps happened, which seemed to lend credibility to the belief that the play was, in fact, cursed. Others believed that the play was cursed from its inception due to its violence and scenes of murder and betrayal. The bloodshed contained in the play, starting with Duncan's assassination and ending with the madness and suicide of Lady Macbeth, brings a curse onto the stage where the line between fact and fantasy is very thin. Infamous incidents, deaths, accidents, and disasters. There have been so many productions of Macbeth over the centuries that are plagued by accidents, injuries, and even deaths of actors, thus earning its reputation as one of the most dangerous plays to mount. The list below catalogues some of the most notorious incidents ever, which have contributed to the belief in the curse. First performance, 1606. The first performance of Macbeth in 1606, the first attended by King James I, was said to be cursed. The actor playing the role of Lady Macbeth suddenly fell ill and died shortly after the show, so Shakespeare himself was to play the role of his own character. Here started this long cursed history that would afterwards be attached to the play. The most lethal of the various incidents ascribed to the curse happened at the Astor Place Opera House in New York in 1849. Two of the most renowned actors of that era, William Macready and Edwin Forrest, were appearing in rival Macbeths. Each man's respective fans had been divided for a long time by national pride. Macready was British, Forrest American, and clashed violently outside of the theatre in what became known as the Astor Place riot. By the end of the night, over 20 people had died and hundreds more were injured. In 1937, Laurence Olivier was to take on the role of Macbeth at London's Old Vic Theatre. A heavy stage weight fell inches from him during rehearsals. The night of the show, both the director and the actress playing Lady Macbeth got into car accidents. If that wasn't enough, the theatre manager died of a heart attack just shortly before the play began. Olivier's production, though critically acclaimed, is one of the most famously cursed. In the 1953 production of Macbeth at Bermuda, the lead character, Charlton Heston, got severe burns on his legs. His tights had accidentally been soaked in kerosene, and as he came onto the stage between the torch-carrying stagehands, they began to burn. Astonishingly, Heston completed the show, but goes down as one of the most bizarre and hazardous examples of the curse. The curse did not let up, even in modern times. In 2011, the Royal Shakespeare Company was performing a production of Macbeth, during which one of the actresses playing one of the witches was injured when a prop sword struck her in the face. She was hospitalized for it, and other cast members reported strange ailments and unexplained accidents throughout the run of the production. Countermeasures, rituals, and superstitions. Over the centuries, actors have devised numerous ways to counteract the bad luck, many of which are still followed today. Many actors believe that the mere mention of the name Macbeth within a theatre is an invocation of the curse. In the event that anyone says the word inadvertently, they leave the theatre, walking in a circle of 3 turns, spitting over their left shoulder. Finally, saying lines from another Shakespeare play like Hamlet or A Midsummer Night's Dream will get them inside once again. Other general antidotes involve some sort of cleansing ritual well before the play has even begun. This can include prayers being said, candles lit, and even sprinkling salt around the stage to ward off evil spirits. Some directors do insist on having at least one light on at all times while on stage to counteract the darkness of the play. The psychological component, self-fulfilling prophecy. While many of the stories surrounding Macbeth give the appearance of supernatural forces at work, there is also a decidedly psychological element to them. A belief in the cursed nature of a play may well be self-perpetuating, wherein actors and directors alike look to blame misfortune upon a supposed curse, when such instances might easily have occurred with any other production. There could also be more anxiety about the production, which may therefore lead to accidents. A cast and crew who are nervous will be more liable to make mistakes. However, the play itself demands a very heavy performance from the actors both emotionally and physically. Above all, Macbeth's character is driven toward a psychological breakdown, feeling such extreme guilt, paranoia, and madness. Equally, the fall of Lady Macbeth into insanity is horrific and calls for an enormous degree of dedication. The stresses of the roles, allied with pressure from the curse, may make the environment of work even more propitious to accidents. The role of popular culture perpetuating the myth. The curse of Macbeth has so permeated popular culture that it long ago broke out of the fetid environs of the theatre into the public consciousness. There are mentions of the curse in countless films and television programs, from Terry Pratchett's Weird Sisters to an episode of The Simpsons. In these representations, the curse is frequently used humorously. This does nothing to undermine the entrenched belief in its power. This is one of the most well-known pop cultural references to the curse, and it's the setup for a series of comic disasters when someone utters the name Macbeth in a small-town theatre production in the 1995 film Waiting for Guffman. Played for laughs, the movie underlines just how deeply the superstition has permeated the world of theatre and well beyond. The legacy of the curse. Macbeth, despite its sinister reputation, belongs to Shakespeare's most performed and studied plays. The idea of ambition, of power, of guilt and fate, a common origin for many people from every part of the world, is what creates the appeal, altogether with a mystique given by the curse to this play. Actually, for many actors, the temptation of taking on Macbeth or Lady Macbeth is irresistible, even at the risk of feeling the full force of the curse. The curse of Macbeth serves as a reminder of the power of superstition and the innate human desire to find meaning in coincidence. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the stories surrounding the curse undoubtedly hold appeal, combining the mystery of the unknown with the very real hazards of live theatre. And as long as the performances of Macbeth go on, its curse will continue to live on, casting that long shadow across the stage and reminding us that a story such as this has life beyond the ink marks on paper. Thank you for spending time with us through Spookscope today. Feel free to share your knowledge and wisdom in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and family. Until next time, my dear spooker, stay curious.